We present to you 10 top at Nephew Affair movies number 3, and if you are interested, be sure to watch till the end of this video, but first, let us take a sneak peek.
I'm leading ham. Tails leading ham.
I was falling in love with a dingo.
We hope you enjoy the following ranking. Kindly let us know your favorite in the comment section, and be sure to subscribe so that you don't miss out on the best movies. At number 10, Ping Pong, 2006. Paul, 16 years of age, shows up to live at his aunt's home after his dad's demise. Closed by her auntie, Anna leaves his cousin Robert. Paul's appearance is sudden, making incredible strain between them, particularly among Anna and Paul. At number 9, Tequila 2, 2011. Tequila in Mexico, the 1940s, honor and nobility start things out here. The town is ensuring a specific mystery. Regardless of all disallowances, Antonio, a regarded youthful landowner, engages in extramarital relations with Lola, his Uncle Vicent's young spouse. She is sincerely disappointed with her more seasoned spouse. Also, Butler's young little girl Milagros is infatuated with him. She compromises him to reveal a mystery. At number 8, Pandemonium, 1987. One evening, a man in a restraint, who appears to have gotten away from a mental hospital, runs into a young lady on a seat in the recreation center and chooses to disclose to her his biography. He was a youthful Egyptologist who moved to a neglected film studio turned motel. The spot is claimed by an awful lady who utilizes a wheelchair who intends to sell it as quickly as possible. Her inhabitants incorporate one of Hitler's hereditarily designed children who will be initiated as the new Führer, his malicious forbidden robust lesbian Nazi aunties, a voodoo zombie, a vampire researcher, and other abnormal people. When a delightful youthful wild lady appears in their oceanside town of Babylon, Australia, bedlam results. It turns out she'd been lost as a child and was raised by dingoes, however now she needs to meet her genuine family, and the unhinged landlord is her mother.
She died. Tell me, do you ever get strange vibrations in this place?
Cada vez que los hombres beben del tesoro.
At number 7, Provocation, 1995. This love-charged period dramatization is set during the 1920s and fixating on the shaky connection between an oppressive hotel proprietor and his lewdly inquisitive grandson. Carlo is the cold-hearted proprietor of a mainstream country motel. Alongside his grandson Johnny, the unpredictable proprietor makes a valiant effort to keep up the motel and guarantee their visitors' content. However, of late, Carlo's significant other has been feeling dismissed, and she can't resist the urge to be attracted to attractive visitor Rolando. In the interim, the adoration of impractical Johnny gets vicarious excitement by covertly keeping an eye on his granddad's affection victories. When the beautiful Marilena shows up at the hotel, her provocative conduct drives the two Johnny and the visitors into a blinding craze of desire and want. However, what is the mystery that drives Marilena's compelling arousing quality, and would she say she is, indeed, Johnny's far-off cousin? The truth will eventually surface what defiled mysteries this licentious secret holds. At number 6, Dungeon of Desire, 1999. When picture-taker Carrie and her two dazzling models are moved back to a middle-aged palace in the 15th century by a supernatural modesty belt, they experience a heartless chief of the Watchmen and more illustrious interests than they might have at any point expected. It's anything but an act of pure trust, a sweetheart's bunch, and a genuine entertainer to save the young ladies and transport them back to present-day times and an everyday routine experience joyfully ever after.
Go be psychos together! So what are you going to do when you get out of this place?
I really want to be a writer, but I don't know what I'd write about.
You could write about us?
At number 5, The Perks of Being a Wallflower, 2012. In 1991, Charlie, who has endured clinical depression since youth, was released from a psychological well-being care foundation. Charlie is uncomfortable starting his first year of secondary school. He is modest and experiences issues making companions. However, he associates with his English instructor, Mr. Anderson. Charlie meets two seniors, Sam and her stepbrother Patrick, at a football matchup, and they welcome him to a gathering. Charlie unconsciously eats a weed brownie, gets high, and unveils to Sam that his dearest companion ended it all the prior year. He additionally strolls in on Patrick and Brad, the high school quarterback, kissing. Patrick discloses to Charlie that Brad is closeted, so Charlie consents to stay quiet about it. Sam understands that Charlie has no different companions, so she and Patrick bring Charlie into their gathering. Returning, the three hear an obscure melody on the radio. Sam educates Patrick to pass through a passage to stand up toward the pickup's rear while the music impacts. Sam needs to improve her SAT scores to have a superior shot at being acknowledged to Pennsylvania State University, so Charlie offers to mentor her, which improves her scores. At Christmas, Sam gives Charlie a vintage typewriter to say thanks to him for his assistance. The two talk about connections, and Charlie discovers he has never been kissed. Sam discovers that her first kiss was at age 11 by her dad's chief. Charlie discovers that his Aunt Helen was likewise attacked as a youngster, however asserts that she could turn her life around. Sam discloses to Charlie she needs his first kiss to be from somebody who loves him and kisses him.
If my English teacher's the only friend I make today, that would be sort of depressing. I need you to remain calm, Miss Sophie.
No, we don't want to shock their number one customer. We don't do that sort of thing here at Morgan Brothers.
At number 4, 100 Bloody Acres, 2012. Reg and Lindsay Morgan possess and work a small blood and bone fertilizer business in South Australia. While making nearby conveyances and intermittent roadkill Reg experiences the accident site, the driver dead inside. Recuperating the body from the accident, he places it toward the rear of his own truck. Advancing back to the siblings' plant, Reg is deferred once more, this time by three sightseers stuck out and about: Sophie, a young lady, James, Sophie's sweetheart, and Wes, James' companion, with whom Sophie has an unsanctioned romance. Reg takes a moment of appreciation for Sophie and, contrary to what he might think is best, permits the three to ride with him. Wes and James ride toward the rear of the truck with the secret body, and Sophie rides front and center with Reg. Sophie becomes acquainted with Reg, while James discloses to Wes that he intends to wed Sophie. The pair, before long, find the body and dread for their lives. Sophie begins to discover things just the same as Reg, yet Reg's tension improves with him. This scares Sophie, and when the truck shows up at the plant, Reg confines her. Lindsay shows up and requests to realize what is happening. Reg recommends that they pound individuals into compost, and Lindsay scolds him for his absence of making arrangements for strong wrongdoing. Eventually, Lindsay consents to Reg's thought, and it is uncovered that the pair have been around people before. To make another equation for their manure, the pair ground a gathering of good cause volunteers who slammed and passed on in a close-by street mishap.
Abans de començar, la família ens dirà unes paraules.
¿Qué pasa?
Blackmail. If you try and cut me out...
You're already out.
And murder. Number 2.
At number 3, Germain's, 2012. The story centers around two explicit days: the day of the entombment of the dad of the heroes, in which they all meet in the mother's home and show the issues that each has, and quite recently, a year after the fact, on the commemoration of the dad's demise when the mother cites them to illuminate them that she needs to sell the family home. Nonetheless, one of the three sisters additionally has another piece of information to impart, which will additionally shake the family and need to face. At number 2, Midsummer Murders, 1997 episode, Dark Secrets, 2011. The British analyst dramatization spins around Detective Chief Inspector Barnaby's endeavors to tackle various killings in the anecdotal English province of Midsummer. Analyst Chief Inspector John Barnaby, Neil Dudgeon, the more youthful cousin of the previous lead character Detective Chief Inspector Tom Barnaby, John Nettles, is the current lead character. The Barnabys have worked with a few distinct sergeants all through the run of the show, including Sergeant Gavin Troy, Daniel Casey, Sergeant Dan Scott, John Hopkins, Detective Sergeant Ben Jones, Jason Hughes, Detective Sergeant Charlie Nelson, Gwilym Lee, and Sergeant Jamie Winter, Nick Hendricks. At number 1, Alex is Lovesick, 1986. The film is a rom-com that happens in Israel during the austerity time of the 1950s. The film's legend is Alex, a 13-year-old kid going to his bar mitzvah. Alex has a common Polish mother and father that endures unobtrusively. Because of the troublesome financial circumstance, they are constrained to impart their condo to a Persian inhabitant named Farouk that attempts to battle his hair loss through various creams. Alex becomes hopelessly enamored with a new young lady in his group, Mimi. Everything changes when his Auntie Lola shows up in Israel from Poland to look for lost love. They were together when she lived in Poland, however, he disappeared.